Hey folks, I am Mike, and we are back with part 2 of Lexie's interview. I want to stop you right now before you head to the comments. This is a hard topic to listen to, and it is a trigger for a lot of people. There's a lot of dudes and even a lot of ladies that don't want to hear this topic addressed. And the topic is, why are there so few women in FPV? And why are they not sponsored? Lexie has the history to help explain this, at least to a degree. And going back beyond FPV, she has the experience of trying to teach girls how to code in what is essentially a male-dominated field. Now, regardless of where you stand on this issue, and by the way, we're not talking about forced diversity. That is not what we are trying to advocate for here. It is just merely asking the question, why are there so few women in FPV? And I think that what you'll see is that Lexie has some really good, deep insights into the heart of why that is. Now, before you get angry, before you get upset, just listen. I challenge you, just listen. And when you listen with an open heart and an open mind. Because I think what you might find is that we all kind of agree on this topic. And it's an important one. Anyways, women in FPV, let's get going. So let's push into a slightly different topic. So, you know, I had the interview series with Chad Capper, and in my preparation for that interview series, I just at one point went to just the Rotor Riot YouTube page, and I looked at, you know, they've got the pilots lined up, right? And I looked at the pilots lined up, and all of a sudden I was just like, where are the women? Like, it's a bunch of dudes. And so I asked him in my last question, okay, I challenged him. And I knew, you know, he didn't give me a satisfactory answer, and I knew he wasn't going to be able to. And but I felt like it needed to be asked, which was, why are there no women on the Rotor Riot team? And I have seen some of the nastiest, worst comments come out of that particular video across my channel for all history. That particular one, it seems to be the most contentious. And it led me to feel almost gun shy, because I'm like, do I really want to dive into this topic again? But I mean, let's be honest. You know, after, you know, I had dudes saying inappropriate things. I had women that were very upset because they thought that I was saying we should force diversity. And there was just a crazy spectrum of answers, and some people were really supportive, and some people were just not supportive at all. And all I did was just ask a question, right? And so, what is it like from your perspective, being a woman in this very male-dominated sport?
How it is. Back when I started, I remember that there were groups where guys were asking, like, what should I do with this and that? And I was adding an answer, and there was no answer for me. And I was like, okay. And there was a dude basically copy-pasting my answer underneath, and the OP saying, oh, finally someone answered my question. I'm like, dude, you had it for like 12 hours. So that's how it was starting. I remember that it was hard. Like, people, I remember my first race when a guy came to me and he was like, you know, spectators area is there. You can wait there for your boyfriend. And I was like,
oh my.
Dude. And I actually, he crashed and I haven't. And when I took off my goggles, I said, spectators area is there, you can wait there. And then I was sticking with my friends because I was so afraid that he will go after me. I was like, yeah, I'm a badass. And then I was like, guys, help me. So that was the beginning. But it stopped. I remember back in 2015-16, there was a problem that created the problem that's still going, which is companies started to look for women that are flying.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started to support every single girl that was flying. And along with Zoe, we were telling all of those manufacturers, stop. Right now, right here, you will create a problem. No, stop. Right now, right here, no. And they were still doing it. So what it created was that guys, not girls, guys, were using their girlfriends' wives and everything, making a photo with them and a drone just to get free shit. And it came out, of course, that's how it is. Manufacturers lost a lot of respect in my eyes, some of them. Mm-hmm. They still do have no respect in me. And this created the thing that's still going, which is girls have it easier,
mm-hmm.
which is not true. So that was back in 2015-16, I think. It stopped. Now this created another problem, which is now that girls are being held to a higher standard. So whenever a girl is... like for the Women's Day, one of the manufacturers made a post featuring one of the girl pilots, which is my friend, and it made me really sad, saying that Happy Women's Day, and by the way, we have a new sponsored pilot, she's amazing, and blah, blah, blah. And underneath this post, you had the worst comments saying that she's not that good, she's not the best at blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, she has to be the best to have whatever. The same happened on the same fan page when they featured a girl holding a drone. And all of a sudden, you have a lot of comments saying that, yeah, because girls have to do a selfie, like, oh gosh, look, I have a drone. And this girl was basically holding it like this.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see really her face. If a guy makes a photo like that, it's not a problem. If a girl makes a photo like that, it's apparently a problem. So the manufacturer actually messaged me and he said that, damn, I haven't seen such stuff in my life. So that's sometimes how it is. I remember back in 2016-17, I was going through a period of you comment somewhere, you get so many friend requests, I'm still having 900, and I'm just not deleting them so they can't send them again.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting private messages with really creepy stuff. I'm still getting those. I was getting private messages with pictures. I was making screenshots, finding the guy, finding his mother, girlfriend, or wife, and send. Back then, we created a women's group, women drone group. It has more than 2,000 people in it.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I decided that I will do my best to keep the girls safe. So then Chad Capper actually contacted me. We had a really nice Skype talk, and he said, could you help us? Because we don't know if something's really inappropriate. We cannot say if it's really making girls uncomfortable. And I'm like, I don't know, but I can ask. So that's how it started, and since then I can say that if you see me going after someone all of a sudden in the comment section or underneath a post or something, most probably I get a screenshot from another girl, and I'm going after it. Because sometimes the things I think sometimes the things that people write, you just like, oh my god. So that's the bad part, and if you say that girls have it easier, I mean, none of the guys is getting that many messages, pictures, and other stuff, and comments, especially the comments, the posts saying that why we have no more girls in the hobby. And then you go through the comment section and you're like, oh, that's why. Basically. So that's the bad part. But the good part is that, 99% of our community is amazing. 1% just is in those comments and they're there, and just leave them there, let them be there. most of the people are really, really supportive, helpful. I love them. I mean, there's problems everywhere. You can find them everywhere, but most of the time, like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 31 days in a month, I'm happy. I'm happy to be able to help the other girls. I'm happy to just be in the community. I'm happy to fly. I'm happy to go to events and just be a part of it. It's not that I feel different as a girl. No one's treating me different as a girl. Sometimes they make jokes, like when I come in a skirt, some of my friends are saying, dude, what are you wearing? So, you know, most of the guys are not really paying attention to the fact that I'm a girl. And I think it's normal, it's cool. We're all pilots, so that's most of the stuff. But then when you see a group have it easier, and then you get sometimes, like today I got 3 screenshots, and Jesus Christ. So sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's, well, most of the time it's good. It's normal.
How much of it do you think is like, you know, there's always been this problem from the inception of the internet with anonymity, where, you know, some of these guys that made remarks on my post and are sending you inappropriate pictures would never do that to your face. They would.
I actually met some of my haters face to face. They haven't spoke to me a word.
Wow,
because
really?
They knew that if they will speak to me or do something, I'll just punch in the face. I mean, I have a lot of haters. Haters gonna hate, fine. Some of people hate me because someone lied to them, and some stories that I'm hearing about myself, I'm like, that makes even no sense.
So, as a software engineer, as a developer, you know, I'm lucky enough to work for a company that prizes diversity, and it not just diversity from man, woman, but across colors and races and religions, and it's hard. It's very hard to even, you know, when you're out looking to give opportunities to people, not because they're different. They still have to meet a strict and rigorous standard, but it's still really hard as a company to make what we have as our own internal diversity goals, right? And we just hired our first female engineer, and everybody's super excited because it's like, oh my gosh, like she's awesome. Number one, we're very excited to have her, but there's something about these really male-dominated places as software engineering. I've heard academia can be this way. Drone racing.
I can tell you.
Yeah. Where it just does not seem like it's welcoming to women. And I don't know that we're going to answer that question as to why here.
I can.
Okay, what do you think it is? Answer.
I don't think. That would be a story. I used to be a teacher for schools workshops in primary school, middle school, and high school. And we started with workshops on programming in mixed classes. You know, they asked like for classes, would you like to take part in this and this workshop? So the kid was deciding if he wants to go or not. And we were having about 40% of girls, 60% of guys. And it was a disaster. The girls were in the behind, like not asking questions, not really looking interested. They were doing something, but some of them were like, oh, well, I don't know. And they were just leaving without any code. And I was thinking that something's wrong. I mean, I saw this girl doing something. So I came to the computer and I was doing Control Z, you know? And it turned out that they were having nice code. There was a typo, there was a comma missing or something. And I was thinking, that's weird. And I called my mentor. She was working at Google, and I told her about the situation. And she said, we are doing the classes of girls only or boys only. And I was thinking, that's stupid. That's basically making groups, making even bigger problem. And she said, try it. So next couple of days, I asked the guy at the school, like, could we separate the girls from the guys? And he said, okay, I'm going to ask the parents. The parents said, okay, fine. And we had the first class with the boys. And that was basically the same class. We were being with them for like a week now. And those guys were like, why we were separated? I mean, that makes no sense. Are we better? And I was like, no, you're not better. We just thought that we will make an experiment on you. And primary school, so kids got excited that they are being, experimented on. But
right.
They were really excited. That was the end of the topic. They were like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, hey, I will be a really terrible parent. So they were doing, normal stuff. It was all like it was. And I was like, okay, fine. Next day, I was having a class with the girls, and I was so terrified that it's going to be so boring. They haven't been interested at all. I haven't had, one question from them. And I was thinking that would be the most awkward moment in my life. Like 4 hours with girls not asking questions. I was like, oh my God, terrified. And that was different. That was way different. They started asking questions, not only from this lecture, but also from the previous one. They were doing something, but one thing haven't changed. When a guy was having a problem, like the boy, he was coming to me and he was saying that I have a problem, I cannot make it work, I did what you did and it's not working. I was coming and I was like, okay, we're going to find this type, we're going to find this comma, it's all fine, working. What the girls were doing was coming to me and saying, it's not for me, I'm too stupid for that, or, it's not really working, maybe it's not for me. And not many of them were coming and saying, you know what, it's not working, maybe I made a mistake, come and look. So it happened again that one girl was having like blank file. Nothing was there. And I just came over her and I started, getting back. And I saw a code and I was asking her why she done it. And she told me that it's because it's not perfect and it's not working, so she thinks it's not for her. And I was like, yeah, but no, we're just learning. Everyone makes mistakes. And she said that, yeah, my mom said that programming is not really for girls. And I was like, oh, well, look, I'm a programmer, it's all good. Yeah, I told her that the teacher is a girl and she was shocked. And I was like, okay, but look, you're just missing a comma, like here. And look, it's working, you did it, you're amazing. And she was just sitting there thinking that she's not good enough. And after a couple of classes, after a couple of years of doing it, we actually started doing girls-only classes after a month. We just realized that girls are raised differently. Girls are raised thinking that they have to be perfect, that they shouldn't be asking too many questions. One of the girls told me that they weren't asking questions because they thought that guys will make fun of them. And since then I was doing just girl classes, boy classes. And I think that's the main problem of why there are no girls in male-dominated things, because girls and women later are being afraid that they will be, made fun of, or that they're not good enough, or other stuff related to it. I mean, I saw it in primary school, I saw it in middle school, I saw it in high school, and it just got really worried. And I also saw that, because I was doing it with a friend of mine, and on the classes that he was doing, less girls were signing in. When I was doing something, more girls were signing in. So then I realized that the thing to show the girls and women that they can do something is to show them. This is when I realized that I should, if I want to share the racing, the drums and everything with girls, I should show up. So since then I've been doing all those races and everything. I'm not the best pilot. I really suck. But I'm not the last. And this is what the girls and women see. That I'm there, I don't suck as much, and they can do it too. And I have a lot of women and girls that are messaging with me and, you know, talking to me saying that, hey, I started because of you. So this is basically showing me that I'm right. I'm just speaking throughout my experience. I know that it's really long and both.
No, it's really good. I mean, it actually answers some questions for me. You know, my youngest is my daughter, and both of my boys fly. And so I've got 3 kids. They're 10, 11, and 13. And the 11-year-old, if he keeps flying, will be pretty phenomenal. The 13-year-old will be an exceptional crash test pilot. And he's probably going to get really good. I think both of them one day will be better than I am by far. My daughter, I've been trying to get her into it. And we had a family day. My wife was out of town. I took the kids flying. And my daughter said, hey, you know, I think I want to try it. And I was like, awesome. Because she told me before that she thought it was a boys thing. And I said, awesome, let's do it. And I said, you know, let's work on the controls first, because she's never really spent a lot of time behind a sim or anything. And so we powered up and had her, and I just had her go into a simple hover. And something happened. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't major. And that was it. She was done. I think the drone turned over. I had to disarm for her. And, you know, I wasn't mean or harsh. I wasn't upset. But I corrected her what she had done. And at that point, she's in tears. She doesn't want to do it anymore.
Because she wasn't perfect. It's happening with grown-ups women too.
So thank you for your input. Because as a dad, that is something I've never thought of. Like, God, if the expectation is that you have to be perfect, there's so many things I would never have done.
Look at the magazines for girls and for boys. It's really not about whose interest is this. I mean, if you're a small girl, like 5 up, you have no idea what are you supposed to like.
Right.
It's the same with the toys. You go to the toy store and you see girls and boys, and you're like, how is the kid supposed to actually know what he or she likes? He or she doesn't even know that she or he has a gender.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also happening with grown-ass women. I've been visiting one of the manufacturers, Vincent, who watch it, will be proud of me now. But his wife, they've been doing this for like 5 years, and she hasn't flown even once. And we came to visit, and we took her for like a field and a test flight, and she saw me flying. And she started asking me questions like, for how long I've been doing this? Is it hard? Is it something? And then she was like, I want to try. And Vincent looked at me like, and she said to my now husband, Franz, he was like, she's magical. Just wait. I will stand here. And he actually decided that I will go with her through all this thing, and he will not even say a word. And she was flying. We lost her quad actually once, and we were looking for it, and she felt really bad, and I felt like, oh no, I'm failing. And I was like, look, when I did my first flight, I crashed into a concrete wall and I destroyed my quad completely, and I had to wait 1.5 months for the new parts because I destroyed almost everything. Yeah. They're really hard. And she was like, well, really? And I was like, yeah, you can look. You know, I scrolled quickly throughout my YouTube and I showed her my first video of flying. And she said like, oh, I was better than you. So, yeah, that's actually what was working. I'm saying this to a lot of pilots, like if you are starting and you are thinking, oh, I should be like Steel or I should be like the Drip or something like this, go back to their first videos and see how they were starting. Everyone started somewhere. I mean, if you want to feel bad about me, go to my first videos. They suck really badly.
Oh yeah, I've got my videos up. They were terrible.
Yeah, see, I'm leaving them just for people to see them.
Yeah, I hit myself in the head.
Yeah, and it's working. It's working to just show the girls that others are failing too, and that you can still get through it somewhere. Because if you see the girls' magazines, it's like, you are perfect, but just in case, this will help you lose 5 kilograms. This you really need to look sexy and make the guy like you, like this and that, but you're perfect. So it's kind of like, if you go to boys' magazines, I mean, I have a nephew. I was going through all the things that he's getting, and I was like, damn, that's cool. And so it's really about interest, like if girls are or not interested in something. It's mostly about the fact that they are afraid to fail. That's what I have for a couple of years now. I mean, I started teaching back in 2012. And since then, I've been helping organizations like Geek Girls Carrots, where you are talking about programming and the room is full of women. And you're just like, oh, there's so many of us. That's actually amazing. And you're just saying like, hey, girls, you know what? I fucked up. I really was bad. I started learning throughout the online courses because then no one could judge me. And that's what's actually working. It's really not the fact that someone's not interested. They're just being afraid of being judged. And when you see all those comments saying that you're biologically not interested, or evolution made you not interested, or something like this, or like you have to be perfect, or how good she flies because she's pretty, but how good she flies, they see those comments almost daily. How would you feel if you would see a lot of threads and millions of comments saying that US people are stupid? You would be sad too. You wouldn't feel welcome. So that's what actually working towards making the problem bigger. So that's something that, sometimes like today, one of the girls from the girls group sent me a screenshot when she said, guys, what you have said is actually making the problem worse. And someone replied to her, no, I actually think that the problem with women is that they are not just being interested. Women and men are different. And I was like, she basically pointed you what's wrong. And you still say that you know better. So, she sent me this and I was like, okay, full fire. But, it's just some things that people don't really pay attention to. I mean, me being a teacher was really eye-opening. I am aware that most of people don't have this eye-opening moments in their lives.
Well, that was...
show. If you want to see, I was telling this to Nick from the DRL. If you want to show that drone racing is for everyone, stop showing a bunch of guys aged 20, 30, because it's not sending a message.
Right.
And he actually agreed with me.
Yeah, no, that's the truth. Well, thank you for all of that. I want to end on, and by the way, that was I
hope I'm not boring.
No, that was spectacular, and it really has given me a lot to think about. So I appreciate it. Just and not just in terms of like, oh, there's a problem to solve, but no, like, are there things that I need to do to raise my daughter differently?
My dad would love you.
Well, just to say, hey, hon, it's okay if it's not perfect, So thank you. Thank you for that.
I was actually lucky. I want to thank my mom and dad because they never showed me that there's something just for boys or just for girls. I wanted the doll, fine. I wanted a car, fine. When I was raised by my dad and my mom like differently, and my dad was showing me like the cars. I knew every single car on the street. I was playing with him like, what car is it? And I knew it. He taught me soldering. He taught me all the other stuff. I got to know that some things are not for girls in high school. And I was like, why? So I was lucky to have those parents that were supporting me as a person, human being, not as a girl or not as a guy.
Yeah, that's good advice. All right, so I want to end on what I like to call quick questions, which I totally stole from Matt Diavella, but they're all FPV related. I don't know if you've ever seen Matt Diavella's videos on minimalism and things like that, but he's great. So this is a series of questions that are quick to ask, but you can take as long to answer them as you want. Okay? All right, so here's the first one, and this one's my favorite. I gotta say this one's my favorite. Okay.
I'm gonna elaborate.
You get to pick one piece of gear that never breaks, but you can never change it. And you have to have it on every single drone that you fly. What's that piece of gear? And it can be related to the drone or any of the equipment that goes with the drone, FPV in general.
VTX.
VTX?
Yeah, I'm the unlucky person who always have VTX broken, or the pigtail is out, or something else is happening. It's always VTX. Always.
Okay.
Always.
What's your? I know everybody has a favorite setup. What's your current favorite setup?
Wait. Okay, so that's my favorite part. Actually, it doesn't have the all purple because I was in an indoor race. They all broke. Yeah. So I was in Francis once. So I just have one purple, but HQ prop purple. Pretty. I'm using the Runcam. It's like a micro. What was that one? I don't know, the purple one. I suck. Yeah. Okay. I really love the VTX from Immersion RC, the Trump, because of the one. So you just go and boom, 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 boom. I mean, I know it's huge. I've been telling Tony for the most of the time, just make it smaller, please, but he's not doing it. So I'm still actually having the Trump everywhere. I'm using the Flight 1 FC. I really love it. I'm also using the Hobby Wing for N1 ESC that everyone says explodes. It haven't exploded on me since it came out, so I feel pretty lucky about it. I don't know, maybe I'm stupid, that's why I'm lucky. I love the Crossfire from TBS, of course. I'm having the right now I switched to Crossfire in all of my quads, even in Tiny Whoop.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's everywhere. Well, Trappy showed me the long range Whoop, and I had to have it. I'm having a Curious FPV LED system that's working with Crossfire because I asked them to make it compatible so we can just switch the colors of LEDs on your radio. I'm using Tattoo batteries, mostly. I think I switched to 6S not so long ago. I think they're like 50s. But I'm still using, that's actually a 4S quad still. I'm having like one. So that's my favorite. And of course the Ego Drift Atom Bomb Baby motors. I don't know if you can see my light. Wow.
There you go.
Yep. Those pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty. Okay. So that's my current favorite setup. I really don't know like what's the camera inside, but I'm moving to the Racer 2 from Runcam. I just actually picked this one because it was purple.
I mean,
sorry, Runcam.
Well, but I mean, all the cameras are kind of the same, anyways.
I mean, it's just a micro. Everyone's like, oh yeah, this one is much better, and I was like, all the micros are kind of the same for me. I mean, I have the orange one, I have a purple one. They're kind of the same. So that's it. Okay, Father, I have a goggles. Of course, HDO from Fat Shark. I have to say thank you for Greg from Fat Shark. He gave me a case. It's actually a funny story. Wow. He gave me this in Shenzhen. We actually met. I didn't know that he was the owner of Fat Shark, and I was making fun of HDOs. And I said that, he's a friend with Tony Cake, and Tony Cake knew that I'm going to get into trouble. And they came back, and he gave me the case. He said that, you know what, this is actually a case from DRL, and we're making just two of them, one for the race and one as a backup. And the purple one is lost now.
That's awesome.
I don't know what it is. And I was like, I have no idea.
Don't know where it is. No.
I have this. And, of course, Taranis. It's with me for years now, like since it came out.
Yeah. Is that the X9D, not the Plus?
Yeah, the Plus.
It's the Plus. Okay. See, I have the X9D. I don't have the Plus, and I don't know what the difference is, but
I have no idea.
Yeah. And it's still,
you know.
Yeah.
I just switched with Micro Crossfire. I switched the case. The front case is actually bought on eBay. The thing is, those are actually metal. They were made by my Blood's FPV. And the purple stuff from Banggood. I know I saw because I bought from Banggood, but back then we had nothing else. And
so is your favorite color purple?
Yeah. You know, I actually never thought that in my adult life, my favorite color will have such an impact in my life.
That's pretty funny. All right, I have one last question for you. Okay. Are you ready?
Is it about cats?
No, it's not. It's not about cats. I mean, I can ask about cats, but
they're here. They're sleeping.
GoPro Session 5 or GoPro Hero 7 Black?
For freestyle and long range, GoPro 7 Black. For racing session, because I have no money.
All right, thank you. That was great. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate your time. I will definitely get this out. Say again? Cats
are not building my quads. They just touch it.
No, I still think the cats are building your quads, but it's just a rumor at this point. So, no, thank you very, very much. This was awesome. This was great. And I really, truly enjoyed it. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, we'll talk soon.
Yeah.
So there you have it. I'll be honest with you. If you've made it this far, thank you. This one was a little bit longer than the last one. And, both Lexie and I were a little bit anxious about broaching this subject because, quite frankly, it is a contentious one. Now, I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that maybe it opened your eyes to some solutions, some of the problems, and some of the ways that we can have a better conversation around this in general. I want to thank Lexie for the interview. She was fantastic and phenomenal. She is just a great example of what it means to be an advocate for other people. And at the heart, this community, the FPV community, advocates for other people. I see it over and over and over again. So I want to challenge you now. Go advocate for other people. And thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment. And better yet, don't just pay attention to this channel. Go to Lexie's channel. It'll be right there. And like, subscribe, and comment there too. I think you will really enjoy her content. I'll talk to you later. Bye.